to the comic shop. I'll let you read about Cyclops. I'll have you spending all you got. Comics Gate is looking hot. Blacklist.
All right, let's rock and roll all night long. Sweet Susie, Big Legit, back in the house. And I am super stoked to talk about the totally awesome comic book I've got on deck here today. If there was ever a comic book that could show you that you are on the right track with your career, that you have created a character that does indeed hashtag move the needle, it's this comic book here. Bam! Shadowhawk Gallery. This isn't just a comic book. This is just artwork. This is just artwork, and this is so sexy because this will show you that Jim Valentino, the creator of Shadowhawk, was onto something when this was released in 1994. You don't even need words. It's just art by different artists, all doing their own rendition of Shadowhawk. It's this simple. Here we have Mark Tex-Mexia drawing an amazing picture of Shadowhawk. Paint? I said paint? It seems like paint to me. Maybe not. I wish they would tell you what they used to do this. Randy Queen did this art right here. Chance Wolfe, the inker of Shadowhawk, did this art right here. And this is literally all this is. It's just people's drawings of Shadowhawk. And this son of a bitch sold for $1.95 back in April of '94. And it stands as a testament to how popular Image Comics and Shadowhawk was, that they could release a book that didn't even need to have a story. It just provided you with amazing art. And it's literally this simple. Mike Allred. There's Shadowhawk saving a cat. The hell he had to go through to save this cat. That's great. Jay Lee. I don't know what this is right here. This is like Predator version of Shadowhawk maybe, or like that's all I can think is Predator. I want some candy. Oh, you know, Ethan Van Sciver, he likes this picture. You know he does. Larry Martyr, isn't that fun? Marat Michaels. Donald Trump loves this picture because it was drawn by a member of the former Soviet Union. And so you know, Donald Trump probably commissioned this for Shadowhawk Gallery. And I mean, I digress. Isn't this just amazing to think that there was a point in time in comic books history when they could release a book like this and it would sell because Image was so hot and so popular and so good at moving the needle that they didn't even need words. Oh, that is beautiful. Jim Valentino and Chance Wolfe made that beautiful piece of art right there for the center of this book. And that is sexy. You could pull this out and put it on a wall in a kid's bedroom, and they would love it. I'm just in love with this. I love this right here. This is really, really, really nice. Really nice. Interesting. This is kind of like an homage in the printing to old school comic books, really old school. It's fun. This is a very beautiful piece of art by Stroman, who did the comic book Tribe for Image. I really like the variation on the helmet here, the variation on the shoulder pads. I really like that a lot. Sam Keith, always doing something unique. Why does he always like to have people sticking like their pelvis and their belly out? Everything. It's always that. Always that. I did that dang, remember that Wolverine, the first time Wolverine and Venom met in that Marvel Comics Presents? There's that belly. The same exact thing that you see on Julie in the Max. It happens. Oh, and look. Oh, I didn't realize this. This is actually the cover to an issue of Shadowhawk later on from the Monster Within series. I think that was Shadowhawk 4. Shadowhawk Volume 4, miniseries number 4. You'll find that. And I didn't know that there was a story in here. It makes me want to read this. This excites me. Inked by Randy Queen and Brad Foster. Let's just go ahead and see if we get... I hate these things. They taste terrible. And they say they'll stop working soon. What will I do then? I'm unsure. Without the medicine, without the drugs, I couldn't go on. So you have to understand that the guy who is Shadowhawk, I don't want to give away, if you have not read Shadowhawk issues 1 through 4 of the first miniseries, and then Shadowhawk 1 through 3 and Shadowhawk 2, the second miniseries, and you discover the origin of Shadowhawk. So I don't want to give that away. But I will tell you that later on we discovered that he was injected with a needle filled with HIV. And so he's got to take the pills to stay alive, you know? He's kind of like Magic Johnson, right? And then there's Trencher. How about that? This is a Keith Giffen character that was very unique, you know? It's a comic book I would like to track down and read as an adult because, you know, visually it was neat as a kid. The unique style that was used on that, I would recommend at least just look it up on Google. Trencher. Yeah, very unique. And this is going to be a feud between these two guys. That's kind of fun. Oh, this is a precursor to the Monster Within. That's what I'm talking about. Shadowhawk 12 through 17, the Monster Within. So this sets that up, and that's very cool. This tells us who drew all this stuff. And I want to know who drew that picture that I really like. This one here. This is by Salteres. Javier Salteres. Oh, Dale Keown drew this. This is really nice. Man, this is why Pit number 2 didn't come out for a year. He was too busy drawing this beautiful picture. So if this doesn't show you what it means to move the needle, you know, this is it right here, man. This is a testament to how successful Image Comics was, as they could put this gem out. And I was able to pick this up at my local comic shop. This cost $1, not 50 cents like I'm used to spending. I had to spend a whole $1 on this. But honestly, it's worth it. Simply to see a character that we love. And I love this. I love let's see who did this one. Let's see who did this one. Let's see. Mike Allred was right here. Brad Foster's here. Oh, Walter McDaniel and Matt Banning. And what were they doing? White Hot Team Supreme. Oh, these are the guys that drew The Pact, which was a mini series also from Shadowline. This is Shadowline. I don't want you to judge Shadowline based on the absolutely terrible way that Mark Lombardi, who's in charge of their Twitter, treats the fans. He treats fans like crap. Do not blame Jim Valentino for that. Jim Valentino probably does not realize that he's hired a shitbag to promote his brand online. And hopefully maybe someone will clue Jim in that a total shitbag is ruining his comic book company, Shadowline. But The Pact was a mini-series. The characters actually came out of Shadowhawk. Another mini-series, the one that I actually really loved was The Regulators, which was a mini-series about the main bad guys in the Shadowhawk universe. And that was super, super cool for me as a kid. I was really into Shadowhawk. And by this picture, you can see why. Like, that's really impactful, really cool looking character. Had a fascinating story. You know, I've covered it in a previous episode, so check that out. But I just wanted to give you guys an example for all the young creators out there. You know you're on the right track when you can release a gallery of art that doesn't even... See, I bought this thinking it was just a gallery, and it turns out they add a little story in here for us, right? I didn't even buy it for this. I didn't care. But, you know, it's so cool. It's so cool. Jim Valentino just putting it out there. And I love it. So this is how you're going to know, you know, when that Cyberfrog gallery comes out or that Jawbreakers gallery comes out. And it's very fascinating because today the Jawbreakers fan Twitter acts as a Shadowhawk Gallery comic book, where it's showing pictures that fans and hopeful future comic book artists are drawing of the Jawbreakers characters, or Cyberfrog characters. Now Twitter kind of acts like this, but this is a really neat little gem from the 90s that really shows you the potential that you have inside you to create a character that is so awesome that you can just get everybody to draw a picture of it, and you can publish it in a comic book, and a kid like me will pay $1.95. A kid like Robert Kirkman at 12 years old would have paid $1.95 for this and would have loved it. Just like I loved it, just like how it stayed in my memory for 25 years. And then I found it at a comic shop, and I said, you know what, I gotta share this with everybody, with all the homies out there in Webtown. And so there it is, this isn't a big video, it's not much, it's just something that I wanted to share with you guys because it got me thinking about ways you can know that you're on the right track. And other than, of course, selling 1 million copies of a comic book, that definitely lets you know you're on the right track. When you do an Indiegogo and it raises $400,000, that's how you know you're on the right track. But Uncle Ethan, he could easily put one of these out and people would buy it because they believe in him, because of the way he treats the fans, which is the same way that the Image creators treated the fans back in the 90s when this was so hot. Because those guys understood that in order to move the needle, you've got to get the fans interested in what you're doing and keep them interested in what they're doing and make them feel like they're part of this wonderful community that we call the comic book industry. And the fans are. They are the community, without a doubt. So I appreciate you guys listening. If you bought this comic book or you just watched me flip through this, tell me which of these was your favorite piece of art. We looked at them all. In the comments below, let me know what you loved. Let me know if you know of any other gallery comics like this from the 90s, because I would love to go pick them up. Tell me in the comments below. Please give a like to this video. Please subscribe. Hit the ding dong for notifications. And we're going to be back very soon with another comic book. It won't be a gallery, unfortunately, but it'll be something just as cool. So I'll see you next time on another totally awesome comic book review from Testosterone Overload!